Public announcement, beware of the radio. Some years ago when the radio came out, there was a lot of concern by people who were trying to understand this new technology and were fearful about how is the radio going to change our society. What are people now doing, sitting around in their lounge rooms, putting on the radio and listening all night and not talking to one another? This is going to just destroy the social fabric of the world, and it's never going to be the same again. Pandamoni. The same thing has happened with television, and these days, what I've heard over and over and over again in my clinic is people being negative about seeing everyone walking around with their telephone, staring at the telephone and tapping away, whether it be at a cafe or whether it be at work or whether it be walking on the bus. And it's pandemonium. We've got to be absolutely on high alert because we're all being transformed into something that's terrible and the social fabric's going to decay. This is just a repeat of the same thing, and I really want to go out and put a question mark around this so that we can take some of that negative aspect away from the technology that's arising. Don't get me wrong, I've been a technophobe myself. I've been really reluctant to get involved in technology. I haven't enjoyed that process, and when the computer hasn't worked, it's been frustrating because I didn't know what to do. I haven't liked to go out and Google how to troubleshoot and so on and so forth. But if I look at historically, the same thing is now occurring, except it's a little bit foreign to us. You see, the same thing with the radio is happening with now social media, and there's even platforms where kids are watching other kids play computer games. And we're going, what? Why would someone go out and watch online someone playing a computer game? This is kind of ridiculous. It's crazy. What's interesting is that most of us have gone out and watched, let's say, the Australian Open in tennis, and we're watching someone play a game that maybe we've played, or we might watch football, we might watch hockey or netball. We go out and watch other sports or other interests, yet we go out and scratch our heads about what other people are going out and doing. And I think the function is exactly the same. We do it for entertainment. We do it because we enjoy watching people compete. We enjoy the strategy behind it, and so on and so forth. Me personally, I don't really get too much out of the Tour de France, probably because I don't go out and really appreciate all the technicalities and all the strategy behind it. But if you talk to me about F1 racing, I can really get passionate and enjoyable about that because there's a deeper interest that I get into. So technology is not to be feared. I think the way that we adjust takes a little bit of time, but if we can be open-minded, then we don't have to be so negative about this world, because I'll tell you what, unfortunately, you and I are not going to see change there. Maybe not unfortunately, maybe fortunately we're not, because it brings a whole lot of positives there as well. And I hope that we can change that dialogue from being negative and saying, oh, look, everyone's on their iPads or phones, to, hey, isn't it awesome that everyone's on their iPads and their phones? It means that we've got access to much more data and connection. And there's a lot of young people out there who have got a huge social network and social support that helps them from a mental health perspective in an incredible way online while they're gaming. So I think it's important to hold a different perspective and consider it, because, the radio is such an evil technology. I'll leave you with that.